much for Droideka.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Droideka and how I think that he's probably the best droid that we got out of this whole General Grievous rework, how he's a surprisingly good plug-and-play character, doesn't really rely on synergies around him. There are some things you can do there, but really he is a character that, much like Wampa, that you don't really have to throw behind a certain leader. He works on his own because of the power of his kit. You don't have to use a certain leader to really make his damage come out. So I want to talk to you guys about that today, but before we go into that, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of sponsorship things that I have going on. So recently, I was on the Shattered Order podcast with Windkiller Inc. and Goodnight Punk, and while we were talking about General Grievous, I said the line, "Do you even mod, bro?" And we turned this into a shirt. If you guys want to get this shirt, it's a great shirt to use when you're taunting people with Galaxy Heroes, if you're taunting your Grand Arena opponent or someone in Territory Wars who doesn't really have good mods on their characters, or really something that's not matching up correctly, like, say, putting speed on Droideka. We're talking about Droideka today. This is a great shirt to wear for those kinds of occasions. If you guys do want to order this shirt, go to the link down below. I've got it there in the video description. I'll also have it pinned in the comments. Go ahead and order a different shirt. You got a couple of gray colors, you have an indigo color, and pink and even white if that's what you want to go for. There's only a few days left. If you really want to get this shirt, hurry, there's a very limited time to get it. And also, we have all those real life issues. You know, you just got married and your wife doesn't want you playing a lot of Galaxy Heroes, or you just had a baby born and you need some time off from Galaxy Heroes to take care of your new family. All this stuff really gets in the way of playing Galaxy Heroes, and you know, there are times where you just have to put the phone down and then you start losing your arena position, you don't get all your daily crystals. Well, this guy really helps with that kind of issue. If you're going on holiday, you've got a busy week or month, he is able to help you continue to get your 600 daily tickets. He'll also work on your arena payouts, make sure he can get you as high as possible in there for your crystals. And also, if you're working on territory battles and territory wars, he'll help you with sending your platoons and your missions, your defense and your attack phases for territory wars. And he's also available for iPhone and Android devices. He has different packages available starting as little as $2 a day. So if you guys are interested in trying something like that, reach out to him today on Discord at mullet90 number 1335. So, we are back to the Droideka, and for those of you who are wondering about the increased prices in the marquee event and the whole controversy there, let me go ahead and put those fears to rest. It is actually much cheaper to get Droideka to 7 stars with these new marquee packs than it was with your original marquee packs. So you can see the packs are about double the price for the mega pack versus the regular pack, but the payout is much higher. You get at least 15 shards with the mega pack, and with the regular pack you get at least 5 shards. So your minimum payout's automatically going to be three times as much with the mega pack versus the regular pack. But when you look at the overall pack probabilities between the regular pack and the mega pack, you will actually get much better chances of higher drops of shards with the mega pack versus the regular pack. You only have about a 0.2 to 0.3% chance of getting a decently high pull with a regular pack, but with the mega pack, those pulls of 20 plus comes up to about, 15% thereabouts. So you actually get a much better chance of getting those big pulls with the mega pack, and that is actually what I've found with watching these people pull packs and what they've seen here. I'm sure here on screen what I was pulling when I was buying the packs, and what I found with most people is that they're usually spending 1 or 2 at most vaults to get the Droideka up to 7 stars. So the mega pack is actually way cheaper than the regular marquee pack to get Droideka up to 7 stars. So hopefully CG keeps this going in the future, because this means that means that a lot more people are going to be able to get those characters up to 7 stars with the marquee events, though we'll see how many are willing to go that, because even then 2 vaults for a 7-star character is still a pretty steep price for a lot of people, but there'll be some more people who are willing to throw that money at the game instead. But the bad thing here is, while you're saving all those crystals, taking Droideka up to 7 stars, you will unfortunately be spending all that on his gear, because his gear is terrible. I mean, you're talking a lot of bad gear here.
Oh, what the fuck?
So the first video I want to show you guys is with the Reven Squad. Big thank you to Snakes on a Plane for letting me borrow this footage for this video. I'm actually going to go ahead and slow this down a little bit, because this battle only takes about 2 minutes. So we're going to slow it down a little bit so you guys can see what's going on here. So we're going to have the fight here at the beginning, and he's going to mark Reven which, that's fine. That means he can go ahead and delay the mass assist from Reven, but then this also means that he can go ahead and trigger the Savior ability on Reven, and he goes ahead and pops the damage immunity on Droideka. At this point, we're going to go and pop the Savior on Reven. Reven is then going to move, but then he should go ahead and cleanse the direct focus, and that means at this point you're free to go after Jolee with the mass attack from Droideka with all those blasters. And every time that an enemy moves, you can see that Droideka is gaining a stack of charge, which is that blue buff, and his special that deals a crap ton of damage, it gives more stacks of true damage based on how many stacks of charge he has. So each stack of charge is going to be additional hit against the target, and that special cannot be evaded, so it's going to go right through the foresight, so you don't have to worry about getting rid of the foresight on Jolee. And as we all know, getting rid of Jolee is how you want to defeat these Reven targets. So you can see Droideka has 8 stacks of charge, he's going straight for Jolee, and watch. Boom. Just like that, Jolee is gone. Now, if we want to slow that down a little bit more, we'll go ahead, let's do 0.25 speed. And there's the money shot. Look at all that damage. You're talking 1, 2, 3. There's at least 6 ticks of damage there. He had 8 stacks of charge, so you were missing 2 ticks of damage plus the regular damage from the blasting attack. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 stacks of damage at least, because you can see all the health steal from Droideka here. That is a lot of damage, and that is pretty much what you want to do, is you want to trigger Savior on someone else like Yoda or Reven, and then wait your turn and just slowly bide your time, and then just keep hitting General Kenobi, because if you hit someone else, you can accidentally crit, cause General Kenobi to taunt, and then you can't target Droideka, or you can't use Droideka to target Jolee, because Droideka can't ignore taunt. So you do want to just waste your time kind of willing down someone, trigger that Savior, and then just focus on General Kenobi, make sure that he's not taunting, and then focus on Jolee here. And once you have Jolee gone, it's pretty easy. I mean, at this point, you just go ahead and go back to normal. We lose Reven, but all you have to do is just use the revive from Jolee, and it's good to go. So we'll go ahead and just kind of let this battle go, and that's the beautiful thing here. And you can still see the damage immunity is still on Droideka right now, so you can still go ahead and have Reven direct focus on the Droideka, and the Droideka is still just gonna constantly ignore that damage, but that damage immunity can be dispelled. So if you're fighting someone like Basila or Ezra, you do have to be careful there. But overall, just getting rid of Jolee, and that's pretty easy. It's a very, very easy mirror match to use Droideka in. So nothing too bad here. And of course, one other thing I did forget to mention is that while you have the damage immunity on Droideka, he has minus 50% speed. So that speed scaling is even increased while he has the damage immunity. So you always want to go for the damage immunity and the shield bubble on the Droideka first before using that special to do that massive amount of damage, because that increases the overall true damage that you will be dealing with the Droideka. So at this point, 2 minutes in, there goes Yoda, and it's pretty much over at this point. Very easy match. So Droideka, definitely an easy mirror match to use, and I highly recommend him if you're fighting against Reven squads. This is definitely a character that you want to go for, because he is going to be a great Jedi killer here. So the other battle I want to show you guys is with a JTR team, and this one's definitely nowhere near as easy as the Reven one, and I'll show you guys why here in a second. But as you guys are starting right away, you're going to notice all the droids have a lot of Terminator going on, and that's because of the BB-8 unique, where BB-8 gives 8% Terminator per droid ally to all droid allies. So there's 4 droid allies here, that's 32% Terminator to your droids right off the bat. And one other bad thing about this is that you're going to have to speed up Droideka quite a bit to make sure that he's going to go before the Reven team, which you guys will see here in a moment. But right away, you're going to go ahead and start spraying out that secret intel, and the trick here is going to be with smokescreen. You're going to target Droideka here. Now, what this means is that Droideka is going to be the target of everybody, and what you're going to do here is do the damage immunity, again, just like normal. So he has the damage immunity, and you guys know what's about to happen. Reven is going to mass assist on Droideka, and that means that you are going to have everyone attack Droideka and they can't do anything. Now, one other thing you guys noticed was that we used Mind Tricks on Bastila here to go ahead and reduce our turn meter, and that's important because Bastila is the character who can dispel the shield immunity on Droideka. So what this means is that you remove that turn meter from Bastila, get some additional stuff on her. If you can get ability block on her too, that would be great. But this means you can delay the amount of time you have that dispel on Droideka. Because as soon as that dispel gets landed on Droideka and takes away the damage immunity, he is a sitting duck, or a sitting Droideka in this case. And that means that he can be easily picked off. He's not a very durable character. He has some decent health and protection, but his armor's not very good. So you do have to be worried about that. And at this point, all you have to do is kind of keep things alive. You don't want to have your characters really come out of that smoke screen too early, especially if you have the mass assist from Reven. The NVR24, when he was originally doing this for me, he's having problems where JTR was getting out of the stealth before the Droideka, or before Reven does his mass assist, and then Reven could mark her, and that could ruin things. So at this point, you are just going to go ahead and keep working on General Kenobi, just like you had with the Reven team. You don't want to go ahead. You want to go ahead and make sure that you keep taunts open. As you can see here, he made the mistake where he's going to attack Jolie. He can land a stun here, and thankfully no one taunted. But again, here in a moment, he's going to attack, and this is the problem, is what he should have gone for was basically ignoring the AoEs and the exposes on everybody. Focus on General Kenobi, and when the time is right, go ahead and hit Jolie with the Droideka mass attack, and that would have really ruined things. But you can see here, still, everyone's going for the Droideka, and they can't do anything. Now, the one other big problem here is that there was the cooldown increase on Droideka, so he wasn't able to use the big attacker right away, but that means that you can still go ahead and keep things going. As you can see, we use smokescreen again, kept everyone but the Droideka from moving. And at this point, you can go ahead and do turn meter reduction on the Bastila again, which is not what he did here, but keep that turn meter reduction on Bastila so you can make sure that she is not doing her dispel, because that's what happened there. She did her dispel, stunned the Droideka, and got rid of those 8 charges, the 8 stacks of charge that were on the Droideka. So that was an overall problem there, and I think once he gets that strategy nailed down, he'll figure it out. But this is really a show of, you can still use Droideka and a JTR team. There's some droid synergy there with Droideka, but I've got to say that with Reven, it's much, much better here than it is with the JTR team. So at this point, we've got everything going. So he only had 1 stack of charge, not very good. But at that point, you just kind of have to manage Bastila, prevent her from doing the dispel of the buff of the damage immunity on Droideka, and allow him to really build up those stacks of charge, and then just have fun. And then you can see we're going to go ahead and take out Jolie here in a second, but at the same time, the team's slowly being picked off now. And that was the problem, is that if you go for Jolie right away and get rid of him, you can easily then start picking off Reven and Grandmaster Yoda. And he didn't really trigger Savior on anybody. He didn't really have time to do that. And that was a problem too. But you can see that now we can go ahead and trigger things. And look at that. With the heal immunity with JTR, you can also prevent Savior from triggering, because the heal immunity cannot be cleansed. And with that, you can go ahead, trigger Savior on someone. They'll cleanse everything but the heal immunity. They'll take that bonus turn. But at that point, you can't do anything because, again, Savior's right there. They'll go ahead and die the next time you sneeze on them, and that will be that. So, overall, it's a little it's definitely a lot trickier than your Reven teams, and you can see here Yoda's going crazy now, and that could easily be it if you're not careful. But he'll go ahead, finish things off here, and he'll win this battle very narrowly, but I think in the long run, it's definitely a tricky one. There goes Reven, and Grandmaster Yoda could have gone for him sooner, but it is what it is, and this will be pretty much it. So he actually wins this, but man, it gets scary close, and that's the problem, is that with JTR, it's still a very tricky team to win against those Reven teams. I'm not sure I would use Droideka over some of those other characters we've seen here before in the JTR team, but if you can make it work, and if you can keep Bastila under control and get that heal immunity on Jolie and wipe things out there, it'll actually be pretty easy. So, now, earlier I had mentioned that he's a really good plug-and-play character here, and there's not a lot of droid synergy here to be had with Droideka, because there's not many elites here that work besides General Grievous and HK-47. But HK-47 lead gives bonus turn meter whenever someone critically hits. Droideka can't critically hit. And General Grievous, of course, we already know that with the Separatist droid synergy. But really beyond that, there's nothing else here that really works out right. I mean, T3M4, his Zetas don't really do anything here because, you know, Droideka doesn't really need the stacking crit chance, and he also doesn't need the 100% defense penetration from T3M4. That's the usual support droid that people go for with your droids. T3 has no need to go with Droideka here. Droideka gets no bonuses from T3 really. So the thing here is that you gotta look outside the droid team for somewhere you can plug and play Droideka if you don't want to use him in a Grievous team and you don't want to invest in a Grievous team, which is totally understandable based on just how poorly it's performing against the meta and how poorly it's going to perform in the future against against your meta for the future. And really, if you don't want to invest in that Grievous team, you gotta find a place to go for Droideka. And thankfully, there are plenty of places you can plug and play him. There's no real need for him to be on one certain team, and there's no need to throw him on a team that gives you bonus crit chance and crit damage like Boba Fett or Palpatine. Really, find any kind of team out there that really doesn't help boost his turn meter, help keep him slow, but also, you know, give some bonuses to defense or health or anything like that. Make him a little more tanky and, you know, just anything that can really... You don't have to go for an offensive lead to use Droideka, and that's the beautiful thing because, as we said already, Droideka doesn't rely on boost to his crit chance and his crit damage. If you can find a lead that can give him some bonus offense, that'd be great, but beyond that, you don't really need to focus on one lead for him. So he's kind of a wild card, and throw him wherever you want to throw him. I wouldn't recommend a Rex lead because of the bonus turn meter, but if you can find some leads out there that would work really well for him, that would be great. So that is going to be it for the video today, guys. I just want to talk to you guys about how awesome Droideka can be, show what he can do against those Reven teams, and what he'll probably be able to do against the Dark Kevin teams or Dark Mallet, whatever we have coming here very soon. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, guys, I will talk to you all later.